G'day, legends. Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt like you're running on a giant hamster wheel? You're working your tail off from the crack of dawn until the stars come out, sacrificing sleep, your health, and precious time with your family, yet that big break still feels like a mirage in the middle of the Outback. We've all been told that hard work is the only way, but is sheer sweat enough to reach the top in today's fast-paced world? Today, I'm taking you on a journey to a small town tucked away in the shadows of the Great Dividing Range. This is a legendary Aussie fable about two master tailors, Rusty and Sonny. One is a man who believes in the raw power of muscle and grit, while the other believes in the sharp edge of a clever mind. Their rivalry, and the massive challenge that comes their way, will completely flip your definition of success on its head. Before we dive into this bush legend, I want to send a massive thank you to all of you for being here. Your support is the fuel that keeps this channel running. If you love stories that inspire growth and wisdom, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our community. We are so grateful to have you on this journey with us. Now, let's head into the dust and the sun. In a quiet town on the edge of the Australian bush, where the air smells of crushed eucalyptus and the kookaburras laugh at the first light of day, two tailors had their shops side by side on the main street. The first was Rusty. A true old-school Aussie, Rusty was as tough as a piece of ironbark. He believed that life was a simple math problem: the more hours you put in, the more success you got out. Every morning, long before the roosters even thought about crowing, Rusty would flick on his old oil lamp. He sat hunched over his workbench, his rough fingers flying across heavy canvas and denim. His breakfast was usually a quick piece of Vegemite toast, washed down with a mug of tea he drank while his other hand kept sewing. "Hard work is the key, mate," he'd mutter to the shadows. "No shortcuts in this life." Next door was Sonny. Sonny loved his craft just as much, but he had a different way of looking at the world. Sonny wouldn't touch a needle until he'd enjoyed a flat white while watching the sunrise paint the hills in gold. He'd arrive at his shop a bit later than Rusty, but he didn't start sewing right away. He spent his first hour sharpening his shears, organizing his threads by color, and mapping out his day. One morning, Rusty looked over and saw Sonny meticulously oiling his equipment. "Oi, Sonny. You're burning daylight, mate," Rusty shouted. "I've already finished 3 heavy-duty saddlebags while you've been faffing about with those scissors." Sonny just gave a relaxed grin. "Rusty, a wise man takes the time to sharpen his axe so the tree falls faster. I'm not wasting time, I'm making sure the rest of my day is a smooth ride." As months passed, both men were busy. Rusty took every single job that came his way, never saying no. His pile of unfinished work grew as tall as a termite mound. His eyes were constantly bloodshot from exhaustion, and his fingers were often taped up to cover the needle pricks and blisters. He saw his pain as a badge of honor. "Hard work is the key," he'd whisper, pushing through the fatigue. Sonny, however, took a different path. He used his savings to buy a top-of-the-line industrial sewing machine that could stitch through thick leather like butter. He also took on a young apprentice named Kai, teaching the lad how to do the simple hems and buttonholes so Sonny could focus on the complex design work. Then came the day that changed everything. Lachlan, the wealthiest cattle station owner in the region, rolled into town. He needed 300 high-quality Drizzabone-style coats for his stockmen before the winter rains hit. It was a massive order with a 1-month deadline. Rusty jumped at it immediately. "Too easy, Mr. Lachlan. I'll work round the clock. You can count on these 2 hands, sir." Sonny paused and thought. "Give me 24 hours to crunch the numbers, sir. I'll bring you my answer at your station tomorrow morning." That night, Rusty worked 18 hours straight. His wife brought him a plate of meat and 3 veg, begging him to get some shut-eye. "Can't stop now, love. Rusty barked. This is the big break we've been waiting for. Not a second to lose. The next morning, Sonny met Lachlan. Sir, I can do the job. And I'll have them ready in 25 days, not 30. Lachlan raised an eyebrow. How's that possible? Rusty's already working himself into the ground, and you reckon you can beat him? Sonny walked over and sat beside his old mate. Rusty, you've got the heart of a lion, truly. But you've been burning yourself like a candle in a windstorm when you could have been the sun. He pointed to the horizon. Hard work is vital, mate. But when you add smart thinking to it, you're unstoppable. A farmer with a blunt shovel works harder than a man with a tractor, but who gets the field plowed? Our hands have limits, but our minds can multiply our efforts. Rusty looked at his friend, and the light finally clicked on. Will you show me, Sonny? Will you teach me how to sharpen my tools? Sonny clapped him on the back. Of course, mate. You teach me that legendary grit of yours, and I'll show you my systems. Together, we'll be the best tailors in the whole country. And so they were. They became partners, blending Rusty's unstoppable work ethic with Sonny's brilliant planning. They lived long, prosperous lives, always remembering that true success isn't just about the sweat on your brow, but the wisdom in your head. My friends, the story of Rusty and Sonny isn't just about sewing coats in the bush, it's a mirror for our own lives. What is the core lesson here? It's that hard work and smart work are two sides of the same coin. We live in a culture that often glorifies the grind. We see people bragging about 4 hours of sleep and working through lunch, as if it's a medal of honor. But as we saw with Rusty, if you're working hard on the wrong things, or using the wrong methods, you're just exhausting yourself for a fraction of the result. Think about your own tools. When was the last time you sharpened your axe? Maybe it's learning a new software that saves you hours of manual data entry. Maybe it's delegating tasks to someone else so you can focus on your unique strengths. Or maybe it's simply taking a break. To let your brain reset so you don't make the kind of mistakes that take hours to fix. Success shouldn't cost you your health or your happiness. Like Sonny, we can achieve more by being intentional. Remember, your hands can only do so much, but your mind has the power to multiply your impact 1,000 times over. I want to thank you again for staying until the end. It means the world to me that we can share these moments of reflection together. If this story spoke to you, or if you know a Rusty in your life who needs a reminder to slow down and think, please give this video a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm gods find more people who need this message. Drop a comment below. Are you more of a Rusty or a Sonny? What's one way you're going to work smarter this week? I read every single one. Share this with your mates. Let's spread this wisdom far and wide. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Join our tribe of lifelong learners. We are so incredibly grateful for your time and your energy. Go out there today, work hard, but more importantly, work smart. Cheers, mates. See you in the next one.